The debate of whether animal testing is cruel or beneficial has always been a matter of opinion. There is no definite way for an animal to consent to being used in this way, as opposed to when products are tested on humans. These animals are subjected to things that humans would not usually consent to, such as food and water deprivation, prolonged periods of restraint, and being used by cosmetic companies to judge whether or not the cosmetics are safe to use. I believe that it is unnecessary to harm these helpless animals for the sake of research, and I've looked into different alternatives that are safer yet still produce accurate results. In vitro testing uses chips that contain human cells using a system that mimics the functions of human organs. These chips could substitute for animals used for disease research, drug testing, and toxicity testing, and could even replicate the responses more accurately. Some companies have already begun implementing a protocol strictly using the chips for research. Cell-based tests and tissue modeling can be used to aid in the experimentation of the safety of many consumer products. A tissue model is a three-dimensional human cell skin model that acts as a human skin to determine allergic responses to certain products. QSARs, quantitative structure-activity relationships, are techniques that are computer-based that make sophisticated estimates of the likelihood of a substance being hazardous based on the knowledge of human biology and the substance's similarity to existing material in the human body. Doing research with human volunteers seems far-fetched to me. I don't imagine many people would be willing to sacrifice themselves in a potentially non-beneficial way. Though there are many clinical trials to possibly cure illnesses, I have found that the trials often result in numerous painful side effects and no actual groundbreaking discoveries. A modern technique called functional magnetic resonance imaging allows the human brain to be studied safely, and researchers can temporarily induce brain disorders to further examine the nature of them using transcranial magnetic stimulation. Human patient simulators are computerized people that mimic illnesses and injuries and give appropriate and human-like responses to medical treatment. These simulators would be used to teach students how to properly assess a medical problem with the lifelike experience. Medical students can use this simulator to provide work experience rather than working on animals. Trauma Man is a more advanced simulator that replicates a breathing human torso with realistic layers of skin and tissue that also includes internal organs. These simulators are used to teach emergency surgical procedures and have been shown to impart life-saving skills better than students cutting into live animals. With all of the alternatives to animal testing that seem to have added benefits and pros that outweigh the cons, I see no reason why testing on animals would be a logical option. When you step on a dog's foot, it hurts them. It would hurt you too. I don't particularly understand why it's so hard for humans to understand and realize that animals are just as sensitive as we are, and they do not deserve to be hurt for our benefit. A human's quality of life is not superior to that of any other species, and I believe they should be treated accordingly.